if you are cruising or visiting Tampa anytime soon, you have got to try this place. Hello, I'm Ray,
And I'm Barbara.
and we love to go on cruises.
We want to share our experiences and our knowledge with you in hopes to inspire and educate.
So we could be a blessing to others who share our passion. So a few years ago, we cruised out of the Tampa port. We had gone, I think it was Royal Caribbean, and actually that was such a wonderful cruise. I think we went to Cuba.
We went to
That was-
Cuba.
yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if you can do that anymore. But so we don't often cruise out of Tampa. However, we wanted to find a place that we can go to because
Before or after?
before,
And both.
before and after, maybe. Yeah. So we like to do Cuban coffee and like to find little ma and pa, joints to go eat at. And so we just came to Tampa. We didn't come for a cruise, but we wanted to check to see the next time we do come for a cruise if we could find something that we can share with you all of, going to try some Cuban coffee, some Cuban food. And we have good news. We found it.
Yeah, we did. And so here's the thing. So we first did a search and certain places were popping up. And one of the first places that we tried two. And the first place we tried, it was the
La Segunda Bakery.
La Segunda, yeah. So, and the reason why that had appealed to us, number one, it was like the closest one to the cruise. It's like a mile and a half away, maybe, and maybe even less than that. But then it was also historic. It talks about how it's been around since like 1915, and if you're looking for traditional, whatever. So we were so excited to try it, and not that it wasn't good, but as soon as we got our coffees, we realized that I think it's been kind of Americanized, because when you go to get Cuban coffee, there's a very distinct thing. It's usually styrofoam, and it's usually this big.
Yeah, it's usually a tiny little cup because it's very strong.
Right. And you always get like 20 of the sharing.
Yeah, yeah.
The little thimble cups that I call. But so when we went there, we did get some coffee. I got a café con leche, which ultimately just ended up being a latte. We actually got a double of the colada, right?
Cafecito, yeah.
Oh, cafecito. Because we thought, it was going to be too little, but he got like a regular massive cup of, that's not traditional.
It would probably land you in the hospital if you drank that entire thing in one.
If it's truly the Cuban, cafecito. So that, not to take anything away from that. And if you'd like to go there, we have some video about the whole place and the food that they offer and the drinks and stuff like that. We have the menu there that we'll put up. But it was a little bit not what we were looking for. So we said, okay, let's go find it again. We're looking on the thing. He was going to go to something called
La Cubana Cafe.
With K's.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I said, I'm like, this looks like another Americanized thing. The coffees were like this. They look like Starbucks. I'm like, I love Starbucks. Don't get me wrong. But when we want Cuban coffee, I want the real deal Cuban coffee.
Yeah.
And so I searched and I said, look, this place, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's like a neighborhood type one. So we drove quite a ways. But from the port, I think it only said...
It was about 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I thought it was
maybe.
like 4 miles or something,
Yeah.
but with traffic. So I did take a picture of that. So you'll see on the picture how close it is. It was a little bit of a distance only because you're going through the town.
Yeah.
It's in the, in a
In the
neighborhood.
heart,
Yeah.
in the heart of the town.
So that one's called...
Guanabo. We'll put a
Yeah.
picture of it, in the video, but I'm pretty sure it's Guanabo Coffee Shop. It's a Guanabo. Yeah, Guanabo, which I believe is like a Spanish fruit. I hate to say
I don't know what the name...
I wish I knew, but
yeah, but it was... When we saw it, because of our experiences going down south
to Miami
or Fort Lauderdale, and we found Delicias, which we have another video about that. That's what we're used to now, is trying to find little
ma and pa place.
Yeah, small place that has the true
like
good
a little
stuff.
window where you can go order,
Yeah,
la ventanita.
in a gas station.
Yeah, or in a gas station or something.
So this one is on the end of a strip mall or whatever strip place, and right next to it is a market, a Spanish market too. So we went in and we had the coffee and we're like, this is what we're talking about. And then we went to the gym, worked out or whatever, and we're like, hey, you know what? Let's go get lunch there and get another coffee.
Yeah. Well, I had asked her, I said, would you rather go try to see if we can find another different Cuban coffee that we liked, or go back to where we know that we had some good coffee?
Yeah.
And
I said, I don't want to be disappointed. I said,
Yeah.
let's just go back. It was really good. And we went back and we tried a couple different steak sandwiches, and we had the cafecito, and it was amazing. It's a little place. We talked to the owner. We heard her story, and well, he heard her story because she spoke Spanish, but
Yeah.
I got to get filled in. But it's just such a really nice, more authentic, and you could sit down. When we went to the first one, you couldn't sit down. It's literally, you go in, you order, you get your food, there's not even a lot of parking. This place, because of the market, you have more places to park. And she does have places to sit.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, it wasn't crowded when we went, but today is Tuesday, so I don't know if it changes. But we went early, around rush hour. And then we went back, kind of early lunchish time. And it was very nice. People came and went, but we were sitting and enjoyed the atmosphere. And then she didn't really have too much of the desserts that we're used to. Like, we're used to getting quesitos and guava and cheese, or, pastelitos. So we went to the market next door. And then we found a couple other options, which now I have a new favorite. I'll show you a picture of it. It's coco leche. So.
Yeah. By the way, the market next door is Spanish. It's like a Latin market, so it's got all kinds of Latin foods. They also have a little section where you can get like hot food
foods
for lunch
yeah.
and stuff like that. We didn't try any of that, but I'm sure their food looked amazing. They also had a small section where you can get pastelitos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We were thinking about it, but ultimately we ended up getting these desserts that she'll put a picture in there,
Yeah.
but they're like pre-made. And we're actually thinking about swinging by on the way home.
Again, yeah, just to make sure we get some for the house.
Yeah, because we have a strong suspicion that that's going to be hard to find. It's probably something that, it looks like somebody locally makes them, for the store. So
yeah, it was so good. It's so worth the drive. So again, just like Delicias down in Fort Lauderdale, if you come to the Tampa area, if you come to the Tampa ports, whatever you're doing over here, it's totally worth the trip. It's just a little ma place, because it's just the one owner, the lady who owns it, and she actually has an award, she said, for her coffee.
For 2025 and 2026, she was voted the best Cuban coffee in the area. So that's got to say something.
We can attest to that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the coffee was so good. We went there this morning, and then we ended up going back
yeah.
for second coffee. Usually both of us drink 2 coffees per day, one in the morning when we first get up, and then usually one in the later morning. So
yeah, totally worth it. Totally worth it. And if we ever come back, that's going to be our spot. We're going to pin it and make sure we hit that up next time.
And if you happen to be into steak sandwiches, this was interesting because I normally like a traditional Cuban steak sandwich is what we call a pan con bistec, is like a flank type steak. It's very thin, Well, her authentic steak sandwich is actually a version of a Philly cheesesteak, which what she said was like, she takes the similar kind of steak, but she cuts it in like Philly style, like very thin slices. And honestly, I'm not a big Philly cheesesteak eater, but I was trying to decide, which one to get, the one that I'm typically used to or the Philly. She said, we'll get them both. And so she ended up getting...
Yeah, I'll try it, sure.
So she ended up getting the Philly, and I got the regular, pan con bistec. And honestly, I agree. I think the Philly style is better.
Was especially for me, he let me try his, and I could not really bite it too easy, and that was bothersome for me. It was very,
it's a little chewy.
Yeah, you gotta like.
Yeah.
But the other one was because it's in pieces, it comes off easier. There's avocado in it. There's lettuce. There's tomato. They have the little fried, like those little
plantains. Not plantains.
Like they're little French fry looking things, but they're like
potato
crispy.
fries. Potato fries. Yeah.
So that stuff was all on it. So I was thoroughly impressed and very happy with that selection today. Even we drove quite a ways because we're here in Tampa. No, we're in St. Pete. We came to St. Pete for a game. So we actually drove back to Tampa to try it and did not disappoint. So that's definitely a recommendation from us, and that's going to be one of our favorites going forward.
Yeah. So if you are in the Tampa area, whether it's going to the cruise port or just visiting Tampa, we strongly recommend checking out this place. So support local businesses, and I'm pretty sure if you like Cuban food, you will not be disappointed.
Yeah, and cafecito.
And Cuban coffee.
Yeah, and don't forget the market next to it for really, really good desserts.
Yes. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.